Welcome to the Ebbs of History, the show where we dive into the strangest, wildest, and sometimes downright creepiest stories the past has to offer. From dancing plagues to pirate queens, you'll laugh, you'll gasp, you'll even groan at my impeccable jokes. But most importantly, you'll learn how history is way cooler than your textbook ever told you.
We're your history-loving hosts, Jason,
Gavin,
And me, Zoe. And in every episode, the three of us will take a quick trip through time and see what lessons we can still learn today. This is the Ebbs of History. Hey there, history lovers. Welcome back to another episode of the Ebbs of History. We're so glad you're here with us today. As you could tell, this is a special episode where I'm going to narrate another episode. Yay!
I wouldn't call it special. We've kind of been doing it now that you guys are more comfortable with the podcast, right? Gavin did it a couple times.
This is my second.
You didn't write this one like you did the last one, though.
No. But I liked the topic and I wanted to...
I mean, you did your D-task on it, right?
No, this is not Radium Girls. How was everyone's week?
Well, I guess I'll go first. It was busy, but I am now on vacation, which is very, very needed right now. So I also got a new temporary put in, so I have teeth now, and I can actually sound like a normal person.
Let's go!
Still waiting on the permanents, and those will be in about 2.5 weeks. So it was a pretty good week then. But this upcoming week is going to be fun because I'm on vacation, and we're going to San Francisco.
Yay! I'm really excited.
Summer,
What are we going to San Francisco for?
The Cubs,
The Cubs game.
That's right.
and Alcatraz and like totally stuff.
Well, yeah, but we're going now because of the Cubs game.
I'm excited.
Alright, so summer started. That's really fun.
Heck yeah.
The last week has been absolutely nothing. Like
Watching movies.
movie.
For yourself, I had finals.
Yeah.
I know.
How about you, Zoe?
Okay,
It was pretty good. I feel like I'm screaming. It was pretty good. It was definitely a lot that last week, but that Thursday was so worth it because I got to leave, and I was just like, "Wow, I did that."
It's over.
It's over.
know. It's
really
just like
quickly.
it's so surreal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like this year went by so fast.
I do too.
Like I feel like just yesterday we started this podcast, you know? We started that New
Beginning
Year's.
of the year, yeah. New
We
Year's.
started at New Year's, and we're in June now.
I know.
We started recording over Christmas break,
Yeah,
and here we are now on summer break.
that's crazy.
That's-
What do you guys think about it so far?
I like it.
Yeah?
It's
I want to
fun.
keep doing it.
Good. Well said.
It's good. 2 weeks ago, we met Grace O'Malley, who sailed up the River Thames to stare down Queen Elizabeth I. Today, we stay with Elizabeth because there's a story everyone, quote-unquote, knows, that her own makeup slowly poisoned her to death. Perfect history lesson. Also, maybe not true. So this is going to be a slightly different episode. Usually, I tell you a wild story, and at the end, we talk about whether historians believe it. Today, I'm going to tell you the story everyone believes, and then we're going to interrogate it like we're true crime detectives. Buckle up. The case file is open.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
Okay, first, the story everyone knows goes like this. It's October 10th, 1562. Queen Elizabeth I has been on the throne for almost 4 years. She's 29 years old. She comes down with what looks like a bad cold. 3 days later, surprise, it's smallpox. In the 1500s, smallpox killed about 1 in 3 people. The survivors were usually scarred for life. There was no vaccine. There wasn't even a theory of vaccines yet. The plan, if you got smallpox, was basically try not to die and good luck. Dad, Gavin, quick question. If you were 29 years old, you had no kids, no spouse, and your job was the Queen of England, what's the worst possible thing you could catch?
I'm going to guess smallpox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it disfigures you and you're unmarried, that's not going to be a very good thing for trying to get a suitor, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even though she is the queen.
Yeah. The pox, the actual pox, not just because it might kill you, but because if it doesn't, it's going to mess up your face. And
Mhm.
in the 1500s, the Queen's face was kind of a load-bearing wall of the whole English government.
Yeah.
For 10 days, Elizabeth lies at Hampton Court Palace burning with fever. Her doctors were clueless. One of them, and I am not making this up, wrapped her in red blankets. Why red? because he thought the color red would, and I quote, draw the fever out. That was Tudor medicine for
What?
you. The plan was vibes.
That's just crazy. Like, remember those episodes of Horrible Histories and they'd be in the hospital and they would talk about like Tudor medicine and caveman medicine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some crazy stuff going on in Tudor
Oh,
times for
God.
medicine.
It's crazy how far we got.
Yeah, right?
Like, they're still using the 4 humors at this point.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Like the yellow bile, whatever. Like,
Probably still bloodletting. Well,
Yep. Well, they were
leeches.
bloodletting for a long time.
I know.
Yeah.
Leeches, whatever Gavin's saying. Anything. Okay.
Anything that includes blood.
They also fed her barley water and poppy seeds, which at least kept her hydrated and slightly sleepy, which is honestly more than I expected from Renaissance healthcare. Meanwhile, her privy council is having a panicked midnight meeting trying to figure out who runs England if she dies. The Spanish ambassador, a guy named De la Quadra, is writing back to Madrid going, looks like she's a goner. What do we do? Spain, by the way, has not forgotten that Elizabeth's half-sister Mary was once their queen by marriage, so they are absolutely paying attention. Elizabeth somehow survives. She wakes up, finds out about the secret meeting, and according to a real contemporary record, wept with rage. Gavin, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much trouble are those council guys in?
As knowing who she is, 10.
It's her privy council. Do you know what the privy council is?
No.
Basically, the people that advise her on what to do and how to be a queen. They're her
Oh.
closest people that...
Think of the cabinet.
Think of the cabinet of
Yeah.
the president. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's that version in England.
Yes.
But yeah, like still 10.
I mean, I said 11. Like, that's 11.
Honestly, yeah.
They never forgot it. 2 months later, the Spanish ambassador was still writing home, saying she was, quote, extremely angry with them. But 2 of her nurses also caught the smallpox. One of them, a longtime servant named Sybil Penn, died about a month later. The other one, Lady Mary Sidney, who also happened to be sister of Robert Dudley, Elizabeth's longtime best friend and probably the love of her life. Mary survived, but she was horribly, permanently scarred. 21 years later, Mary's husband, Sir Henry Sidney, wrote a memoir, and he described coming back from a trip abroad to find his wife. I want to read you what he actually wrote. He said he had left her a full, fair lady and returned to find her as foul a lady as the smallpox could make her. Devastating. And the saddest part? Elizabeth, the queen that Mary saved, reportedly couldn't even look at her friend's scarred face anymore. She kept the Sidney family on the royal payroll for the rest of her life, which is one way to apologize, but the friendship was never quite the same. Speaking of Robert Dudley, during the smallpox crisis, when Elizabeth thought she was actually dying, she did one of the wildest things a queen has ever done on her deathbed. She gathered her council around her and made them swear that they could name Robert Dudley as protector of the kingdom if she died. Dudley was her childhood friend and most likely the love of her life. The council promised. They had absolutely no intention of doing it. And Elizabeth, knowing that people would whisper, also publicly made them, quote, as God was her witness, nothing improper had ever passed between her and Dudley. Even on her deathbed, this woman managed to maintain her image, which is the part of the story that we need to remember. Because while Elizabeth physically recovered and went back to ruling and ruled for another 40 years, building England into a global power, she came out of that smallpox episode with one new lesson burned into her brain. Her face was political. Every blemish, every scar, every line was a piece of ammunition that could be used against her. If she looked weak, men would push her to marry. If she looked old, they'd push her to name a successor. If she looked sick, France and Spain would start moving troops to her ports. Her face had to look invincible. So she started painting it. Or did she? Now, here comes the story that everyone tells you next.
I want to stop here. Gavin, do you know anything about this? Remembering what you saw on Horrible Histories and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
What is your version of this story?
I remember she painted her entire face, and it looked all bumpy and stuff.
Mhm.
But I know that it's arsenic poisoning or something like
Okay.
that.
So that's what you think?
Like
Okay.
there was arsenic in the makeup, the color of the makeup.
Okay. I just wanted to get a baseline before we go into it.
According to popular version, Elizabeth was so traumatized by what happened to Mary and was so worried about her own scars that she started painting her face with thick white makeup to hide them. Every day, layer by layer. The makeup was called Venetian Ceruse, a fancy Italian name. Even fancier nickname, Spirits of Saturn. Sounds elegant, right? It was not. The recipe was white lead, the metal ground into a powder and mixed with vinegar.
You.
That stinks. I would not want to have vinegar poisoning me. Poison vinegar right next to my nose.
It's not even vinegar poisoning you. It's just the smell
I know.
of
It's
it.
just the smell combined with it unknowingly poisoning you.
And with
That's like
lead.
the worst makeup in the world.
Yeah.
No question. And it's for the Queen of England. Whew.
You smear that on your face, the lead reacts with the air, and you get a perfectly smooth, glowing, ghosty white complexion, like a Renaissance Instagram filter. Except the filter was also slowly dissolving you. Gavin, quick question. What do we know about lead in the year 2026?
It causes poisoning. It causes death.
Lead is poison.
Yeah.
Side effects may lead to death, 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 and death.
Yeah.
Do you know what it does? Like, no. Don't look at her script. Nice. I like to try. All right, just go.
But melts you like
Okay.
the Wicked
So
Witch
you
of the
don't know.
West.
You don't know. You just
Pretty
know that
much.
it's poisonous. Okay, go ahead, Zoe.
Yeah. Lead is poison. It causes hair loss, blackened teeth, memory problems, depression, paralysis, and eventually death.
Oh my.
Dad, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is it to put poison on your face every single day for 40 years?
I'm gonna go with -1 billion.
Yes, less than 0. That is the correct answer. But wait, it gets worse. The popular story says Elizabeth also wore bright red lipstick made from mineral called cinnabar. Cinnabar is mercury sulfide. Mercury is also poison. She was wearing lead on her cheeks and forehead and mercury on her lips. And when she took the makeup off at the end of the week, because, oh yeah, the story says she sometimes left it on for a full week. She used a remover made of eggshells, alum, and even more mercury.
Oh my
That is 3
word.
poisons in one beauty routine.
Oh
That is
my-
honestly impressive.
This is like comedic.
Yeah.
The amount of poison she is putting on her face to make her look beautiful.
The only non-poisonous thing in her entire makeup bag was apparently rose water wash.
I guess, but it's probably
Zoe,
like put a
question for
dabble
you.
of lead in there just for good measure.
Zoe, question for you. Do you take off your makeup every day?
Yes.
Exactly. Can you imagine wearing it for a week and only taking it off
If
once a
anything,
week?
that's making her scars worse.
I know.
You think so?
I mean, if it's just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
and
if you think
you
about
know,
it,
lead.
I don't think that she cared about that. If this, because
Uh-huh.
this is still
Yeah.
the story that we think we know.
Mhm.
But it's all about looks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She probably didn't care what it was actually doing to her. First of all, they probably didn't know,
Mhm.
but she probably
yeah,
didn't care
definitely.
because it made her skin smooth and not bumpy and gross and
Mhm.
Yeah.
smallpoxy.
Yeah. The story keeps going. The lead corroded her real skin, so she had to wear more makeup to cover the damage from the makeup.
Oh.
By the end of her life, story says her face was caked in foundation an inch thick. She banned mirrors from the palace because she couldn't stand to look. In 1599, when she was 66, her favorite courtier, the Earl of Essex, bust into her bedroom one morning before her servants had painted her. He saw her barefaced, old, thin-haired, and scarred. She was furious. She put him under house arrest on the spot. 2 years later, he led an actual rebellion against her and got himself executed for it.
Oh my god.
Some historians think it all traces back to that one bad morning. The man saw behind the mask and couldn't see it.
Okay, before we go on, do we think that's true?
I think parts of it are.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but it does seem a little bit sensational.
Yeah.
From the 1-inch thick makeup to him being imprisoned or house arrest
Yeah.
for seeing her without makeup and, no mirrors around the castle. It just all seems very fantastical to me. That's where my mind is right now.
Mm-hmm. I believe the inch makeup.
Yeah?
But the whole house, like the whole right on the spot, the whole like that whole part of it, I don't think so. But I
Okay.
mean, like, we don't know the thickness of this foundation she was using in general. Like, it could have just been a thick thing and then just like outside, like off her skin. Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
and then the big finish. Elizabeth died in 1603 at age 69. By some accounts, she had lost the ability to speak in her final weeks. The story says her funeral coffin was so saturated with chemical fumes from her makeup that her body literally exploded inside the casket.
That's gotta be fake.
Now, pause. Just pause, because that's crazy. Dad, on the explodey corpse story, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does that sound like something a real historian would write down at the time?
If it actually happened, I would say it's a big chance that it was written down.
Mm-hmm.
But was it? Probably not. So
Yeah.
I don't believe that it happened. Now, I'm going to bring this to William the Conqueror because when he died and he was in his casket, he literally exploded. It is written down. It is confirmed fact that his body exploded when they were trying to stuff him into his coffin.
How though?
Because the coffin was made of stone
Mm-hmm.
when he was a little bit younger. In the last 10 years of his life, he gained a lot of weight, became huge, and it had been a couple days since he had died when they were doing this, and they were trying to shove him in there, and he exploded. Literally exploded. But that was written down.
Mm-hmm.
This I don't feel was written down because
No.
I've never heard this before.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
this one's news to me, the exploding thing. So I'm gonna say 0.
Yeah.
It sounds like something from a cartoon.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, 0. That is exactly the right answer. That sounds like something an enemy made up for a pamphlet. Spoiler, it probably was.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Almost none of it was actually well documented. We are going to talk about what historians today actually believe in the historiography section. But first, let me hit you with a closer. 31 years after Elizabeth died, in the year 1634, Venetian ceruse was officially classified as a poison. The thing that supposedly killed the most famous queen in English history was finally banned 3 decades after she was already in the ground. Was she a victim? A symbol? Or did people just invent a whole story because it makes such a satisfying ending? Cue dramatic music. Cue dad looking serious. Let's pull up the file. Historiography! Here is what modern historians actually think. Venetian ceruse was real. People absolutely used it. And it absolutely killed most of them.
Absolutely.
There's a well-documented case of an 18th century socialite named Maria Gunning, Countess of Coventry,
Close enough.
who died at 27 in 1760 from years of devoted ceruse use.
Ceruse use.
Sorry. Not even saying it right. The public called her death by vanity. So this stuff was lethal. That part is not myth. But whether Elizabeth herself wore it heavily, that's where it gets shaky. Historians Anna Riehl and Kate Maltby have argued that there's surprisingly little contemporary evidence that Elizabeth was a heavy ceruse user. Her detailed wardrobe accounts barely mention it. Most of the inch-thick makeup descriptions come from after her death, often from people who didn't like her, or from much later writers who liked a juicy story. The exploding coffin tale was mostly propaganda spread by an enemy. Even her death wasn't pinned to lead poisoning. The Royal Museum of Greenwich lists pneumonia, an infected tonsil, and cancer as more likely causes. So this story isn't a lie exactly. It's a legend that grew, like a snowball rolling down 400 years of this would make a great morality tale.
So we were right to be skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff that that you were saying, and I was like, well, I don't know, that sounds a little bit, fantastical. It was fantastical.
It's like
Yeah.
a huge part of our podcast kind of just encapsulated.
Yep.
Like,
It is.
question history.
Yeah.
Lessons we've learned today.
What can we learn from this?
Looks have a lot to do with the power that you have. She thought that she had to paint her face because her face was the face of the English Empire.
Yeah.
And if she looked weak, she would, she'd be put to marriage or whatever, it was all about looks in her eyes. And I think that resonates today too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Instagram and TikTok and all that kind of stuff.
the social
Everybody,
media.
if you look halfway decent, you can have a career doing nothing on social media, and it's just like you'll prime example that I'm thinking of is actually when John F. Kennedy and Nixon were on a debate, the first televised debate. Nixon didn't wear makeup. He thought it was girly, so he didn't do it. John F. Kennedy did. The look of the two really turned the election for John F. Kennedy in that year.
Really?
It did, because he looked fresh-faced and nice, alive, and Nixon was sweaty and just looked horrible because you need to have makeup on television.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's I wouldn't say vanity, but the perception that your looks give have tremendous power.
It's using your looks to an advantage.
Yes.
If you can use it to an advantage, do it. I thought insecurity, just from Elizabeth, plays so much of a role in this. Because it's like she was so scared. Like, it's kind of off of you, but like she was doing it for her almost. Because and it ties back to today. Everyone is so insecure because of their looks, and she was just caking on makeup and just like like I said earlier, it's like a filter. Like she's putting on a filter before
that's interesting.
before she goes to work every day.
So that connects it today with Instagram filters and stuff like that. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's just everyone has such deep-rooted insecurity.
Yeah.
And some are just more front-facing. Some people are more front-facing than others. And people are worried that they're going to see their insecurities. But most of the time, they probably wouldn't have noticed from her. But she noticed it. So she almost made it more obvious by caking on.
Do you think that maybe she had some sort of body dysmorphia because of the smallpox?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know 100% speculation, but
yes.
I mean, yeah.
No, yeah. Okay.
Wouldn't you be afraid if, like, your face got all messed up and...
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
your job.
like, you would think that...
Especially as the Queen of England.
Yes.
Your face is your job.
face is everywhere.
Yes. On the money.
And I say the second lesson, which is honestly the whole point of this podcast, is that history likes a clean story. Vain queen killed by her vanity has an ironic beauty and tragedy all in one neat bow. Real history doesn't have neat endings. When a story sounds too perfect, you always have to ask who told it first. When was it told? And what did they want you to believe?
I 100% agree. That is really another encapsulation of our podcast.
Yeah.
Really. It's time for the Fun Fact Challenge.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose.
It is time for the Fun Fact Challenge. I am not playing, so there's some even playing field for you guys.
Oh, someone's got a big head. How'd you fit through the door?
I don't know. Okay.
You're going down, sir.
No, you are.
What is the name of the Spanish ambassador from the beginning of our story?
Clock in. De la Corte? Or like Cota?
Quadra.
Quadra?
Close enough, yep.
Yes. I couldn't even say it, so I'm going to give it. All right. Is anyone keeping score?
I think we can keep it in our heads.
Okay.
Thanks.
Question 2. What was the fancy nickname for all the thick, white makeup Elizabeth was wearing to cover up her scars?
Locked in. Venetian ceruse.
Fancy nickname. There was a fancy nickname.
Locked in.
What is it, Gavin?
Something universe?
Oh.
Gavin's not right.
I don't think that should be
Locked
able to get
in.
it.
I mean, both you guys didn't. Oh my god, both you guys didn't get it. So I'm gonna give you guys both. Dad goes first.
Saturn's something.
Keep going, Gavin. Do you want to give it a shot?
It's Saturn.
Mm-hmm. But I need like another word, and then I'll give it. That's Dad. You're cheating.
Dad.
You cheater.
Dad. No.
Spirits of Saturn.
No.
You're technically right, but I don't want to give it to you because you're a cheater. I honestly just want to give that to Gavin.
Yeah, give it to me because he's a little cheater, liar.
No one gets that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no one did because
You're still winning, Gavin. 1-0.
Okay, question 3. By the end of her life, how thick was the foundation on her skin allegedly?
Locked in.
Gavin got it first.
Even though he locked in prematurely.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You locked in prematurely.
No.
It's Dad.
Can we just go?
No, go ahead. You go ahead, bud.
1 inch.
Yes, an inch thick.
That's so easy. But okay.
You won.
You finally won for the first time in a really long time.
This day in history.
Some other things that happened on June 18th across history. 1812, President James Madison signs Congress's declaration of war against Britain, officially starting the War of 1812. Yes, this is the exact moment that kicked off our episode 21 disaster when the United States tried to march into Canada and got humiliated 3 times in a row.
Awesome. No, nothing. I got nothing.
1815, Napoleon Bonaparte is decisively defeated at the Battle of Waterloo in Belgium by Duke of Wellington's British-led coalition and Field Marshal Blucher's Prussian army. It ends Napoleon's 100 days return from exile and closes out this entire era of European history.
Yeah, that was a big day. I mean, to this day, people call, things, that's my Waterloo or that's her Waterloo.
Yeah.
Like, it's meant to be meaning, like the defeat that ended it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're singing ABBA.
I know. I was like, that's the first thing my mind went to. I was like, Waterloo.
Like, if you think about it, Napoleon is such a big portion, at least in EHAP. I can say I'm an EHAP graduate now because I did it. Napoleon was such a big part. Like, he really kickstarted, like, not even just in France, like, all of these really, famous treaties and all of these deals and stuff, like, he kickstarted it. Like, the first guy that was, like, just wanted he obviously wasn't the first guy that wanted absolute power. Like, obviously, we have Roman leaders and stuff like that, but, like...
he's, like, the first guy that really got it.
Yeah, and I don't know, like... I'm not.
I know it's not first. I think it's more modern.
Yeah, first guy in modern history, like, because this is 1815.
Right.
Like, the U.S. is already existing. Like, if you think about the last 200 years, he is one of the first that really conquered territory and really had an army and was almost undefeated. 1873. Suffragist Susan B. Anthony is found guilty and was fined $100 by a judge in Canandaigua, New York, for the crime of voting in the 1872 presidential election.
How dare she?
Clutching my pearls. She famously refused to ever pay the fine. The judge famously never made her.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then so that was the 1872 presidential election. So that, so that was what, 30, almost 50 years later.
Yeah,
is when women were finally given the right to vote.
Yeah,
here.
That's crazy.
Just ridiculous.
The Venetian ceruse legend has the perfect morality tale ending. Too perfect. The real lesson is that history's tidiest stories are often the ones to question hardest. That's it for this episode. Thanks for traveling through time with us on The Ebbs of History. If you like today's story, share it with a teacher, a friend, or your family on Instagram at Ebbs of History. If you have any show ideas, corrections, or questions, you can contact us at questions at ebbsofhistory.com.
Signing off, this has been your co-host, Gavin.
Jason.
And me, Zoe, reminding you that history is not just about dates and battles. It's about people, curiosity, and the weird, wonderful choices that shaped our world. Until next time,
keep wondering,
keep laughing,
and keep learning through
the Ebbs of History.